Now, there's no sugarcoating it. The watch that's in here is definitely a Gimmick watch. And these guys, their watches, they know it too, surely. But what I will say is, it looks like a really cool Gimmick watch, so I was keen to try it. I'll pop it open and I'll show you how it works. So what have we got here? Looks like we've got a strap of some sort, a green strap. That's a bit of a clue. And here it is. Meet the G2 Fairway. And fairway as in golf, yes. So Vera has gone ahead and made a watch that you can use during your round of golf. Now, to be honest, I don't play golf. I am atrocious at regular golf, but I do play a fair amount of mini golf. I went last weekend, and ironically, I'm set to be going this weekend too to a different course, so I can appreciate the general fun of the activity. And this piece of kit you can take along with you to track your score. So this fairway version is built on the main chassis of the pretty popular G2 sports watch that they've got. So it may be a gimmick in terms of function, but it's actually very, very well built, like lots of the other watches. Got some really nice polishing and brushing here, and we even have a GMT movement in there too. Not sure if that GMT hand has any extra functionality in this situation. And more in general, I'm not sure are golf watches a thing. I don't really watch any golf, aside from watching my wife attempt to get a hole in one. But how this one works is you have this bi-directional bezel. So this thing goes in both directions, unlike a dive watch bezel, which is usually used for the GMT function. But this time that's been switched to the chapter ring on the inside here. Well, this just keeps a track of your score. So E here must be like par. And then if you manage to get a birdie, you can click it to 1 under, or an eagle. Or if you're performing really well, you can go all the way down to -5. Or in my case, if things perhaps aren't going your way, this thing goes all the way up to +18. Yeah, 18 over par all the way up there. So you can keep a definite track of your score, provided you remember to actually use the watch. Now, it will only keep a track of your personal score. Not sure there's a way of tracking anyone else's score with this, I don't think. But it does save you having to take a pen and paper with you anywhere. Now, by default, it seems to come on this silicon band here. But I feel like the green NATO style one is the way to go with that. So I'll be switching this out in a moment. Oh, and the back is also different too. So yeah, it looks like they've got that textured golf ball effect here on the back. And you can actually feel that texture a little bit too. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the G2 in general, it's a pretty well-made watch, like I said. So I've got this pretty curvaceous 316L stainless steel case, and that comes with a fair amount of water resistance too, 150 meters. So it's got this screwed-in crown here, which keeps things locked down, as well as that screwed case back too. So you can easily go swimming in this watch. Or perhaps, like I probably would end up if I was on the real golf course. If your ball ends up flying in the water and you have to go and retrieve it, you don't have to worry about your watch getting damaged. We've also got the date wheel down there in the bottom center, so you can adjust that by popping this out one step and then going forward here on the crown. And these are coloured as well. Number 4 there is orange, whereas the previous ones were they green? Yeah, they're all green. And then every 4, you have an orange one. That's really unusual. I wonder why that's the case. Maybe just playfulness, maybe just to look a certain way. Or maybe you golf nerds could share a secret about that potentially. This one also has a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal on the top as well, so you don't have to worry about bashing it too much. Oh, and to move the GMT hand to track that second time zone, you just move the crown in the opposite direction. You can pop that and then use the inner track there to keep account of when a family member is flying or something. As for sizing on this one, the case width here at the widest point is hair over 39 millimeters, which is a pretty average size these days. Lug to lug is 46.07, and the thickness, including what looks to be a slightly raised crystal, is a hair under 11 mil. If you discounted that crystal, it would be more like 10.5. And just as I was about to put this on my wrist, I noticed this isn't just a generic green dial. I thought it was at first, but no, they've actually applied a special effect here to that chapter ring, and it looks exactly like grass. Almost looks like 2 different sections of a golf course. And here's a look at it on my rather small 6.25 inch wrist. Now, 39 millimeters It really depends on the shape of the watch for me. I tend to mostly suit watches around the 37mm mark, but this should still fit the majority of men's wrists out there. I can maybe just about get away with this one. And that's predominantly because these watches have got quite a undulating shape, as you can see. So they do sit very flat to the arm, and they curve down quite aggressively, which can help me out a bit. And at a distance, you probably wouldn't realise it was a kind of gimmick watch, but I'm definitely going to be trying this out with my mini golf at the weekend. If I can get down to 5 under, I'll be doing pretty well. Got a beautiful click to it here, really the perfect action. Just has a nice little satisfying noise and tactile feel with good alignment, which is always appreciated. And I just noticed too, we have a golf ball here as well. So if you look at the very tip of this second hand, it's kind of like a white lollipop hand. So there's your ball flying around the outside, which I didn't actually notice from the stock images. And this model's also assembled in the US too, which may be important to you if you do live in the US yourself. Yeah, let's give this a quick crystal test, and then we'll have a look at it under low light, see if there's any other hidden tricks. Vera's never lied to me before now, and I haven't again here. That is a sapphire crystal, as you can see, and I can see that the luminescence is going to be pretty good. That's without my torch. And yeah, really great performance there. Not like you'd be going golfing in the middle of the night, admittedly, but that is stonking luminescence. Does seem that Fair watches are getting better over time with the Lume, because they've pretty much hyped their stuff since day one. And these days, the last few releases have really lived up to that hype. Yeah, BGW9, and well, it's still going comfortably, even though I've left it here for a couple of minutes while I was browsing the site. Price on this one, by the way, is $449 USD, which is probably about 330 Great British pounds, I suspect. So not a cheap gimmick watch, but it's not a cheaply constructed watch. Well, let's see that on the strap instead. I feel like that's the way most people want to wear this. Now, the stock one it comes with has quick release spring bars here, so this will take no time at all. There we go. And attaching this will require this test tube of spring bars we've got. And these ones I usually do by hand. I find it a tiny bit easier. There we go. That's the first one in. And the second one. And it's quite a snug fit there with the strap. It is a really good, high quality one. I think this one comes with the watch by default. Ah, yeah, you can actually choose from a selection. And then if you, pay an extra premium, you can get this on one of their bracelets, which are pretty good too. Maybe gives it a bit more of a overall sporty look. Whereas this one plays a bit more into that fun gimmick. And yeah, I do like this actually on this strap. Not sure if I was a reviewer, if I could part with this much money for what is, quite plainly like a fun watch, but maybe for those of you who do play golf regularly, you may feel quite at home with this one. Yeah, very hardy band there. Just had to go putting that on. We also have 2 spare holes there, even on my small arm, so plenty to choose from. And overall, I think this is definitely the way I'd choose to wear this watch. I think it's better than the black, and because these watches are generally quite conforming, it doesn't even look that bad from side on. Always a concern when you have these pass-through straps. They always tend to boost the thickness a little bit. This one really doesn't make much of a difference. So that's a quick look at this G2 Fairway, the golf lover's watch. If you want to check it out, there's a link to the pre-orders in the video description. It says here orders are expected to ship early July, and with the amount of work I've got on my plate at the moment, you may not see this video until early July. We'll see.